Okay, Smackdown Live. I'm not gonna lie. I was considering skipping it and trying to do NXT, but with the animation work I've been doing, I have a tendency to keep forgetting things when it's around this time of the week. Like Tuesday to Friday, next to going to my doctor's and still trying to do my animation, which when you're trying to animate stuff, you can forget what time it is, and if you get frustrated and you're trying to focus on something, then you gotta leave it alone, does not mean you remember the other stuff you want to do. So I thought, just do SmackDown Live. And if you can remember to do NXT tomorrow. Just give an overview. That's what I'm thinking of doing, an overview of NXT, because I haven't seen the product in a year and a couple of months easily. So I barely know anything that's going on. So if anybody who still wants me to do NXT, leave a comment below. Give me encouragement, because I don't want to waste my time. But anyway, let me get this out ahead of time. This show sucked. And I'm sure people are going to say, well, there was a couple of nice things in there, a few little snippets, a little nuances. No! I'm going to make this clear to anyone who's watching this. No matter how many tiny little details you saw in there that looked interesting, it does not correct the overall product that is bad. I left, and I got to say this, I left a comment on the Lex Man video of Raw around 11 or 12 o'clock this morning, today. And I left a comment because he was not happy about this Raw, particularly about the man's man t-shirt. And him getting upset that looks like Seth Rollins has gotten bitched out for a Becky Lynch. Now, you know what I said on that comment? Now, I still respect the Lex Man. I do. But what I generally said in that comment, I said, I'm surprised at the Lex Man. Because when Mike Kanellis got bitched out by his wife, he got his balls cut out on international and national television, because Monday Night Raw is seen internationally as well as the United States. He got his balls snipped off by his freaking wife. And he laughed at that. So what's the difference between him and Seth Rollins getting bitched out for Becky Lynch? Nothing. I repeat again, nothing. He wants selective memory. And guess what? I looked at his entire video about that entire situation and him talking about Mike Kanellis getting screwed over by the WWE and him trying to apologize for his wife for what had happened. And he's laughing about it, even though he said, well, I got to see what's going to happen next week because of that train wreck and a few other things. And he's laughing again about it. How can you justify what you did to Lex Man? I'm not saying he even watches my videos. And honestly, if he did, I'll say, one, I do respect the hell out of you. But I do not agree with what you did on Monday Night Raw last week. Laughing at Mike Kanellis, who has not been legitimately seen on television in months. Went to 205 Live. Barely was used there. Then brought back to Raw after supposedly signing a 5-year contract. And gets bitched out by his wife. How can you justify that? I don't. So let's go to the SmackDown. And I will say, you watch it, you might like it. But for me, no. Opening of the show with Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler at the parking lot having an argument, then a fight, and then supposedly Kevin Owens getting bloodied in the mouth. I guess they're willing to take the, well, if I remember correctly, USA charged them $10,000 every time blood is seen. So they're willing to take the hits. They really want to try and promote a more edgier show. I don't care. I knew this was coming between Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler over nothing. And in the end, it still feels like nothing throughout the night. And I'm not even going to wait for the end of the show. Well, end of my review to do the end of the show. I'm doing it now. Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler, due to the fact that Dolph didn't have an opponent for tonight because it was a Kevin Owens. But then the fight happened. Then you had the Shane McMahon come out, interfere with that, says it's been canceled, and now just to try and get rid of Roman Reigns, he's using Dolph, who Roman has gone up against before. Months upon months ago with Drew McIntyre. If you guys don't remember, Drew and Dolph were supposedly the next gen of professional wrestlers who is going to remake professional wrestling. And I'm doing this for Drew. This is Drew, and I am doing the next generation of professional wrestling. We're better than everyone. Where's Drew now? Alaki. Where's Dolph now? Exactly where he is. Let's go to the match. Did I care about the match? Nope. Because there was only one defining factor of it. There was no way they're going to let Roman Reigns job. And I'm going to make this very clear. Roman Reigns should not have this issue. He should be jobbing. To make him a more rounded professional wrestler and performer, he should be losing. And when was the last time he lost clean? He hasn't. Instead of letting him lose clean, or at least if he's got to lose dirty, make it look good. Nope. They don't even make it look good for him. They don't even make his dirty losses look good. So you watch the match, you might like the quality of the match. You might. By this much, you might. When it comes down to it, after, how can I say this? Near the end of the match, Drew pulls out Dolph to try and save him from getting pinned. You got the Roman Reigns jumping out, splatting everybody. And then you got and this is where it gets dumb. You got Shane McMahon coming out from commentary, going into the ring, angry, saying to the ref, start counting. And guess who comes back? That is Kevin Owens. And I know I could talk about what happened in the beginning of the show where why am I talking about it now? Kevin Owens trying to talk in a mic, trying to say how bad it is with Shane McMahon there. But even with that and the stunning, you know what this feels? Boring. And I'm going to make this very clear for anybody who says, well, I'm enjoying this. Let me ask you a question. How many times have they used the fans' own constructive criticism against them? Where they say, hey, we can't be the way we want to be because management is treating us bad. How many times have they said what we've said? And it doesn't make the show better. Look, Kevin Owens made it very clear what we've been saying. The product sucks. Making Shane McMahon the head of it and everyone else, and he says an Asuka, he says a Apollo Crews, he says a Buddy Murphy, he says a lot of people in the back, but what does this really give us? Nothing. Zero. It doesn't give us anything better. Now understand, there are points when you can mirror what the fans are saying, and it can work. But how many times have they tried this in the last 9 months? They don't make it work. They piss off the fans even more, and we're stuck where we are. Because that's where we are. If Eric was the one who ran this, and I don't even believe Eric is still making this work. If Eric Bischoff ran this show today in some small capacity, it sucked. If he ran it in a large capacity, it sucked. If Vince made this show, it sucked. So no matter what Kevin Owens said, it didn't make it better. Let's move on. Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura. You know, this would have been a really good match 2 years ago. I'm doing it again, 2 years ago, when Finn was relevant along with Shinsuke Nakamura to a certain extent after dealing with AJ Styles. 2 years ago, seeing these two go up against each other, possibly going to fight for the IC title, would have been really interesting. I would have liked it because they know each other. But guess what? As Finn has done absolutely nothing, and Shinsuke Nakamura has been on TV very, very little. Both of them have been on TV very little. I don't care. I don't care. I don't even remember who won the match. Hang on a minute. Who won that match? Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm sorry, guys, for botching Shinsuke's name. For the simple reason I didn't care. And I should freaking care. I should care about Shinsuke Nakamura. I should care about Finn Balor. And they made them irrelevant. We don't even see the demon. If the demon was used more often, he would be a little bit more interesting. Even if it's the same moves, at least it would be something different. Nope, let's move on. let's do the contract signing of Nikki Cross. And oh my gosh, it's in my face. This was so bad. It's not the point of how bad a Nikki Cross talks. And I don't believe Nikki is that bad. I do believe they're feeding her a lot of stuff. I saw what JD NYC was talking about, where she kept going like this, looking to the side. I know when people do that, it's a lot of times they're trying to remember or think, because I do that myself. If I'm thinking about something, maybe I'll go like this. You saw me point away. For her, I think what happened was that she got the script at the last minute yesterday and was trying so hard to remember it. And that's why she just botched so bad with her eyes, because she looked like she was out of her mind. And legitimately out of her mind, not character out of her mind. So when we got this segment in the ring, and again, Bayley is trying to tell her, hey, you're getting used. Drop it. That was the thing that should have been left at the table. She shouldn't have to try and convince her. She should have said, you know what? This is what Bayley could have said. She signed the paper. You could still have Nikki say what she said, but you could say Bayley. Bayley says simply, fine, I gave you a chance. I'm going to destroy you. I'm keeping my title. And she signs it, walks. No words, no nothing. She did everything she could to help her, and then she's done. If she means what she said because she knows what it's like to be used, she should have just done, sign, walk away. And didn't give Nikki the chance to really say anything else. She screams on the mic and she just walks up the ramp. You know, that would have been more interesting what we got, because it was boring. Now, Bella. No, wait a minute. Mella. I'm sorry. I said Bella. Mella versus Nikki Cross. What? Look, I'm not a Carmella fan. She's a damn good looking woman. I would be happy marrying her. Even at the age of that I have right now. I'm an old ass man. I'm nearly 50. I'm a few years away from 50. And I would be happy with that lovely lady if she just smiled at me once. But it doesn't change the fact that Mella really doesn't wrestle very well. She just does not. She is meant to be a manager that, as I keep saying, periodically wrestles. Maybe once every 4 or 5 months, she gets in a ring and she wrestles for a gimmick. That's it. Then you got Nikki Cross, who can wrestle, trying to cover for a Carmella who cannot wrestle. And it just looked bad. And Bayley was watching, and I didn't even care. The match wasn't that great. Yes, I believe Nikki won. Yeah, Nikki won. But why do I care? Even though it's a triple threat. And we know it. Look, we know where this is going. We know where it is going. You got Nikki. You're going to have Alexa. And it's going to be about not Bayley defending her title. It's going to be about Nikki being screwed over by Alexa. And they have a feud, which I don't believe anyone said anything about Bayley, because Bayley is being treated like an afterthought. And I'm saying again, Bayley's being treated like an afterthought. I'm botching now. I'm getting angry. I feel sorry for Bayley. She legitimately deserves better than this. She does. Now, let's see here. What's next on the agenda? The Iconics with the Kabuki Warriors. 2 weeks ago, they got a pin. Now, supposedly, they get a chance after the titles. They confront the Iconics with a page. And the thing that gets me, you got 2 Aussies with a Brit. And instead of trying to take advantage of 2 Aussies who, generally speaking, I'm not saying the British and the Australians have an attitude towards each other. They had years, centuries, a century ago, because of how things were for the original British being sent to Australia as prisoners. But you could make something out of an animosity between the Aussies and the Brits, which could at least give Asuka and Kairi Sane something to work with. Something. But no. We get nothing. other than, well, my girls have an opportunity. And the Iconic says, well, I'm sick. I got Ebola. Oh, I got the bird flu. Really? They're in my face. Really? Really? You know what happens? Paige bitch slaps. Paige legitimately smacks in the face a Billy Kay. She gets smacked in the face. Then she gets upset. Then she said, you want to do something? Then she backs down like a bitch because pretty much Paige, oh, aren't you sick? And she goes, I'm actually sick with allergy problems. I'm hoping I don't have a nasal infection right here because my face has been killing me for days, even though I've taken my medication. I was stupid enough to walk in a lot of pollen about 5 days ago. Really bad night. Haven't been right yet. But anyway, at least I make myself look better being sick than Billy Kay does. I'm moving on. Let's make this quick. We had, they're my face, with Ember Moon. Fire and Desire. Why? Why are they doing this to Ember Moon? Why are they doing this to Ember Moon? I feel sorry for her. She has a great amount of talent. She does. She has great charisma. The War Goddess can get the job done in the ring, and she can talk outside the ring. In fact, I think she talks a little bit better than Sonya Deville does. Yeah, you can say about Mandy Rose talks better than Sonya. And I would say that Sonya is a bit better than Ember Moon. But I think that's only because Ember is not seen on TV much. How can you get better if you're not allowed to be on TV to really hone your craft? We got more Fire and Desire than we have the War Goddess. So now what is it, next week? They're going to have a tag match. And if Ember Moon doesn't find anybody, it's going to be a 2-on-1 handicap. They're my face again. Moving on. Let me see here. Mustafa Ali, again, don't care. Don't know where he's going with this. Is he going to be a superhero? Is he going to fight for the masses? Are they going to make him change his ring attire? Or is this just like how Aleister Black, and I'm getting to him, he's the last thing I'm going to talk about. Aleister Black being treated like crap. I don't know. And then, am I forgetting anything else? I'm going to make sure, because I hate forgetting stuff. And I probably did forget. Aleister Black finally gets an opponent. And when they do the interview, his opponent isn't there at first. And Aleister Black is saying, you know, I would do the same thing. I would mess with my head. And then someone shows up. Someone goes around the chair that's right next to his camera shot. And it's Cesaro. Now, you could say, well, this could be very interesting. This could be extremely interesting. But here's a problem with me. Where is Cesaro supposed to be? Is it Smackdown Live? Or if I remember correctly, he's supposed to be a Raw guy. They're in my face. This show, why? Why did I watch it? Because when it comes down to it, we get nothing good for any show. Raw has nothing good for itself going into Extreme Rules. I'm being honest here, nothing. I haven't seen anything great. Smackdown doesn't have anything good for Extreme Rules. Why did I watch? Well, I know why I watched. And I'm going to use that as the title. Why did I watch? Or maybe, why do you watch? Why do you want to watch? I think that's the best title for this particular show. Why do you want to watch a go-home show that legitimately gives you nothing? We're not getting anything really great with the WWE titles. We're not getting anything great with the tag titles. We're not getting anything great with the Universal title. We're not getting anything great with the US title. And are we getting anything for the IC title? And there's nothing about the women's tag titles. Yes, we got something for the women's SmackDown and Raw titles, but doesn't mean it's good. This show sucked. It gives us nothing. Why do you want to watch? This is just my point of view. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.